Hey everyone, it's me Jane, just giving you an update. I think it's 2 weeks since I did the last update for this monster caravan. For those of you who've not seen this before, the caravan's got its own Instagram channel, 40foot_caravan reno, or 40foot caravan_reno, I can't remember. You'll find it. So the photo is a big white caravan with a pale blue stripe. That was the original colours. Anyway, so after about a year or so of being messed up in the head and life getting in the way and financial, you know, the usual, it's sat in the front yard and hasn't had much love, except for me to come and bail out the buckets every time it rained. So I've got the final 2 leaks sorted, fingers crossed, and now I'm on to we've built the walls. My ex-husband came and built 2 internal framework walls for me, which I'll show you. I've lined them, insulated them and lined them except for one bit. Now I'm onto the roof, the ceiling, because I was in here last week trying to do something and I literally 20 minutes water was pouring off me, even though it was only 24 degrees. So I've got my finger out and I've started to do the insulation on the ceiling. So having had 3 rolls of this silver stuff in the house specifically for this job, which I completely forgot about because they were in the games room, I've started to use them. The way I'm doing it is I'm cutting it skinny enough to fit in the well, let's have a look. So to fit in between the timbers so that it's not going to affect the ply that I've got. Now I'm doing this literally on the cheap, so recycled, secondhand, all that kind of stuff, as much as I can. With, you know, obviously when I make the kitchen, that's all going to be new build. I don't know about the materials yet. So what I did was, when I ripped this apart, I kept all of the original hang on, let me turn the camera around. So I kept the original polystyrene. So this is some of it. Most of it's gone back in the walls. And then in the bedroom, down at the back, you can see there is the original stuff from the bedroom ceiling. Now, obviously, it was old. Let me see if I can find a bit. Some of it has ended up bloody paper thin, so some of it's really useless. I'm keeping everything till the end because you never know when you know, I could need it to make a template for something. I've changed the windows back to, that's a Caravan, obviously second-hand Caravan window that I got from another Viscount. I got probably about 15 windows. The original, which is a house window, a shed window, I'm leaving that because it's just nice for the view. These, I'm not bothering to change these. It doesn't bother me. It's not for beauty contests. Again, another Viscount. Outside it looks like Steptoe's yard, you know, the fact that I have, let me turn this around. So I'm not interested in how it looks from the outside because it's so big at 40 foot, you can't tow it, so you can't go on holiday with it. It's a static caravan. So ultimately it doesn't matter because it's going to have plants growing up that side. This side here, which has got the 2 full-size doors, I'll show you. It's got the 2 swap around. We've got the 2 doors. That's one and one in the bedroom. It will have a decking, which I'll put a roof over once it's landed wherever it's going. Kitchen, which we've already spoke about. Turn it around. Sorry if you're getting seasick with all the turning around. So kitchen, like I said last time, sinks go in here, double sink, bench top, gas cooker here, bench top, and then island here, which I'm gonna base it off the original island that's here. What I'll do is I'm going to put shelves on this side so you can come with your shopping and throw them, or shoes or whatever storage, because I think there'll be plenty of cupboard space there. And then I'm going to remake overheads for here. I might do overheads here, but I doubt it because the gas gas hob here. It's just not safe. So what I started to do with the insulation was double layer the polystyrene, and then I remembered about the rolly stuff. So I'd already glued these are silicone together, or so the first layer there is silicone to the metal, and then the next layer is just for extra insulation. So what I did here, obviously I pulled this out because I'd only done this. That here took me an hour and a half to measure and find the closest pieces, because when you're using second-hand stuff, you don't just cut into the biggest pieces first, you cut the smallest you can and start with the small pieces as close as you can get. So it takes a while. You've got to be really good at Tetris. So what I did here was I pulled it out and put the roll stuff on. I can't even remember what it's called. Is that called something cavity shield? So that's on, and then one layer of polystyrene. You'll see here this is new, whereas that's old. So you can easily find polystyrene. You can easily find polystyrene that's come from garden furniture, plant pots. What I did as well was I went to the Good Guys, and because they had a massive skip out the back, I had to buy a new fridge, and I kept my own. And then I realised that the big skip out the back, and I just went and asked them if I could, skip dive and get some of the polystyrene. They said go for it, because it saves landfill, it saves the environment, it saves you money. It's brilliant. That's why I like recycled stuff. And you'll see, sorry, this stuff here was my bright idea for it's 3mm MDF. I know you're not supposed to use MDF in caravans, but I did already put some waterproofing on. So I used core flute, 2 layers of core flute as waterproofing, and then silicone sealed all along here and the edges before I put this on. This I got from a cabinet maker workshop, and these are 1100 by, I can't remember, about 450 I think, or 420 offcuts. I got them for I think I got about 100 for about $20. Thinking at the time, I'll do the whole caravan and that'll be wonderful because it's only 3mm, it bends, I can get it, it's easy to cut. Well, by the time I'd done that and this, and then I started underneath the office, I realised what a shit show it was going to look like, and the finish was going to be awful. So I binned that idea. This, of course, you've already seen. This is Signwriter's ACM, or aluminium composite panel. So again, offcuts. I think this was about $30 for these. And the reason I got these was because I'm going to have an office desk here, so I can write on here. I don't need notepads, I don't need bits of paper. I can just write, and shopping list, anything, I can just write in the end, and then it just rubs off. And that's what I'm going to use for the splashback here. That's I've got a yellow piece for that, and then also here, splashback here, because it's easy to clean. Now we'll go through here. So the insulation I've explained the need for keeping your old stuff even if it's in shit condition, because it still works. You just can replace it with new stuff. So in here, so what I did also, this first bit took me, like I said, about an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes, by which time I was done. Even though it was only 18 degrees, I was melting, the same as I am right now. The sweat is just dripping off me. And then yesterday I came in and I did most of this. I didn't do that, and I didn't do that or that, but I did all of this. And then as I was leaving, I realised what was making it hot was the skylight. So I've just thrown a bit of the reflective stuff in the skylight and held it in place with that. And you know what? It makes a hell of a difference, because this gets the sun all day, obviously, and the skylight lets the light in. Even though I've got the windows open, that's just reminded me. This is my makeshift window jammer opener. until I can get some new hinges. So as you can see, it's not a brilliant window, but it works. It opens and closes. And for now, I've just got this in case it's windy, so I can tie it down. It only needs to open a bit. I have got new hinges. I don't particularly like pop rivets. You know, builders tend not to work with pop rivets. Metal workers work with pop rivets. I'm a builder, so I'm used to screws. So eventually I'll get round to this. It's not an important thing. The window opens. For now, when I line it all, I'll go back to that. It's functioning. So that's done. So I've come through. So this will be the lounge. I'll stand here at the bedroom wall. So that wall we put in, my husband, ex-husband put in for me, and I've lined it. Well, I helped him. I've lined it. It's insulated. I've done it with the absolute no for a caravan, which is this. I had some of this left over from a job. So I thought, nah, bugger it. It's an internal wall. It's not going to get wet. It's there for insulation only and for vibration. So that's lined with glass fibre. So is this. And you can see what I've used here. I got, believe it or not, these 3mm ply, not marine ply, just ordinary ply. 1100 by 2200. I got these from Fremantle Docks. They are pallet toppers for whatever they get delivered at the docks and unload, and they send the pallets back overseas or whatever, and they take these off for some reason, and so I got these for $5 a piece. Now for 3mm ply, it's about between $65 and $120 a piece. And when you know how many you need for a 40-foot caravan, well, there's three there, 3 on each side, that's 6. That's like $500 straight away. Same on this wall, there's $1,000 just for these 2 walls, and these, you know, these are only $2,100. You're getting the picture now. This wall's done. So you can see where I've drawn the lines to screw. And what I've done here is I've used self-tapping screws, so that they go through the metal. So they are metal screws that I've used on here, but I've also used like hard as nails to stick it. And then as a last minute thing, I've thought some of this joining stuff, I don't think it looks great. When it's painted and it's a caravan, it won't bloody matter, to be honest. So I've done, this is the wall where the TV is going to go, so that's why there's a socket here. So I've done here, and I've done up to around the door and around the window. I just haven't done behind the cabinets. Back to the ceiling. So I've literally just, let me show you, where's my little thing? I'll show you my plan. So what I've done here, you can see lounge ceiling. So I've drawn out the framework and measured between each cross member, so that you know how wide your polystyrene and or your silver insulation needs to be. So you spend 10 minutes doing that. This is where there was an old air conditioning unit, and this is where I want my ceiling light to be. So I've filled this one in. This is done and this is done, but only with the roll. So I'll cross them out once they're fully insulated with the polystyrene, so that I know where I'm up to for next time. So what I've done here, so again, what I've done, insulation and a bit of extra 3mm ply. And the reason I need that is because when we screw the, I've got oyster lights, very shallow oyster lights. They are, I think, 35mm in thickness from ceiling to the bottom of the light shade. The smallest you can get, either 35 or 45. And so I've had to do a back plate, because even with the 3mm ply on the roof, I'm not happy hanging a light, even though it weighs nothing, just through a piece of 3mm. I'd rather it go through 6mm. So an extra backing plate big enough to so that you can house the screws on the light. It's 3 screws and that's it. So once this is done, I already started the walls. I did that actually last year, as soon as I could, to try and reduce the heat. Anyway, I've waffled on enough because it's been 15 minutes already. I can't believe time goes so fast. So yeah, what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to make another video immediately because I need ideas from people. I need some help. It's so much easier building a house and renovating a house and subdividing land than it is fixing up a caravan. It's a completely different world. I'm glad I've done it. I'm glad I'm doing it. And I'm glad I've got my background knowledge, because I think I'd have given up and walked away at a big financial loss by now. I've got 2 things going for me. One is I refuse point blank to give up, and you can. There's always a way to fix everything. There's 17 ways to skin a cat, not just one. Anyway, I'll make another video. It'll only be short. I want to show you the problem that happened. Sorry about the jiggling. I'll show you the problem that happened and explain that to you. And anybody that has had a similar issue, then please PM me or message me or whatever, and give me some pointers. And this is going to be caravan people or steelwork people, I think. All right, until next time, see you guys.